You know what weighs more than 30 elephants? Poops a garden shed of excrement daily and still gets described as gentle. This absolute unit, the blue whale. Evolution looked at the concept of moderation and said, nah. Go big or go to hell. Clocking in at over 100 feet long and up to 200 tons. This thing isn't just the biggest mammal alive, it's the biggest animal ever. Yes, bigger than your apartment, bigger than your ex's emotional baggage, bigger than any dinosaur that ever walked the earth. And somehow, it still needs to surface to breathe air. That's right, the largest animal on the planet still has to doggy paddle to the surface every few minutes or risk drowning like some kind of oceanic fail whale. Its heart, the size of a golf cart. Its tongue weighs more than a fully grown hippo. You could literally crawl through its arteries like a funhouse slide from hell, assuming it doesn't just sneeze you into low orbit. And yet, despite being the real-life kaiju of the sea, this thing eats krill. But we'll get to that sad salad bar later. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're into animals that deserved better designs. Bonus, drop your favorite "How is this real creature?" in the comments. You'd think that with all that mass, the blue whale would come packed with some serious processing power. Maybe a sonar system that makes dolphins jealous. A master plan to take down oil tankers. Nope. Its brain is roughly the size of a football. A whole damn football. To put that in perspective, your average golden retriever has nearly as much cranial horsepower minus the deep sea roaming credentials. In fact, the blue whale has one of the lowest brain-to-body ratios in the animal kingdom. Evolution clearly went, we've maxed out on bulk, intelligence optional, and don't expect complex pod strategies or Shakespearean songs of sorrow. Blue whales make noises, share some of the loudest on Earth, but mostly it's just oceanic mumbling, like a bass-boosted moan echoing through 1,000 miles of wet nonsense. And for all this brainy modesty, they still somehow navigate oceans, migrate thousands of miles a year, and raise calves the size of SUVs. So maybe the joke's on us. But still, when your skull looks like it should hold the secrets of the universe, but instead holds the processing power of a vintage Tamagotchi, that's a flex. Just not the one you think. Let's talk diet. You'd expect the biggest animal on Earth to chow down on something dramatic like sharks, or entire fishing boats. But nope. The blue whale slurps up krill, tiny, crunchy sea bugs, thousands of pounds of microscopic shrimp every single day. It's like watching a sumo wrestler live exclusively on instant oatmeal dust. These majestic marine behemoths use a feeding technique called lunge feeding, which sounds intense until you realize it involves slowly opening their mouth like a garage door, scooping up a krill smoothie, and then pushing the water out with their baleen plates. Imagine trying to vacuum dinner out of the air and spitting out everything but the sprinkles. That's their vibe. They don't even chew. Because obviously, and when you're 100 feet long, why waste time with teeth when you can just inhale your entire food group like it's free samples at Costco? And here's the kicker, they do this 8,000 pounds worth per day. That's 4 compact cars worth of crustaceans. Every day. All for calories that barely keep their Titanic-sized butts afloat. So yes, the biggest animal alive eats like a picky toddler. Nature is hilarious. And now, the grand finale, humans almost wiped out the blue whale. For lamps. Yes. We saw the largest creature that has ever existed and thought, nice, that'll look great in my living room. From the late 1800s to the mid-20th century, industrial whaling turned into a global how fast can we murder everything contest. Blue whales were hunted for their blubber, which was melted down into oil for lamps, soap, margarine U, and basically anything you could market to people without telling them it came from a slaughtered sea god. The result? Their population crashed from hundreds of thousands to maybe a few thousand, because obviously, the species that sings across oceans and regulates entire ecosystems was no match for a guy named Harold who wanted better lamplighting in 1894. And to top it off, scientists didn't even really start tracking their decline until it was already a full-blown crisis. Shocking, right? It's like realizing your house is on fire after toasting marshmallows in the hallway. Nowadays, they're sort of protected, but the scars run deep. We almost extincted a living skyscraper because we wanted bath soap. Bravo. Team Human. Would we do it again? Hopefully not, but history says probably.